What's that metronome I hear? Perhaps the end is drawing near. You never hear the shot that takes you down. Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours now is mine. And I dream broken dreams. I make them come true. I make them for you. I make them for you.
Carlton, P. Cripps, 3 votes. And I declare the winner of the 2022 Brownlow medal is Patrick Cripps of the Carlton Football Club.
Hello everyone and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper Gretsch, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumours and results. Got a very loaded show for you guys today. It's the grand final episode of Kick It to Scoops. I will have videos throughout the trade period and draft period. Maybe not as a Kick It to Scoops podcast format, be some type of format, so that's something to keep an eye on. But all the segments today, we're going to go through in the grand final. I'm also going to talk about the grand final between Sydney and Geelong at the MCG, Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Victorian time. And review the preliminary finals matches just gone. We're going to go through trade talk. And of course, the world-famous segment, Scoops Goes Bang. And that will include the big umpiring disgrace in the clash between the Swans and the Pies, and my thoughts on the 3 individual umpires in the contest in that particular game. And simply also this. Oh, of course, we're going to talk about the Brownlow medal. Congratulations off the top to Patrick Cripps for winning the Brownlow medal for season 2022. Well deserved, or is it? Just wait and find out. Now, merch and Cameo. So we'll start off with Cameo. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/Cooper G. You want me to roast a friend? Wish someone a happy birthday? Anything at all that's respectful, I will complete it if it's good enough to do. Head to cameo.com/Cooper G and I will fulfill your request. It's grand final week, so that means you want some videos and you want them completed before the grand final, whenever, just during this week. Get on it today. We greatly appreciate it. It's going very well, so we'd like you to continue that momentum. And merch. There's plenty of t-shirts. There's 8 t-shirts to pick from. There is stubby holders. There's stickers. And there's hats as well. So you can go and get yours today. The merch is going pretty well as well. Use your Brownlow medal earnings on my merch or Cameo. Forget betting on the Brownlow, as some of you may have done last night. And if you won on the Brownlow last night, use your winnings wisely and get some of the Scoops merch and represent yours truly. I greatly appreciate that. Or cameo.com/Cooper G. Just remember, if you order a Cameo from me or you purchase my merch, you actually get to keep it. Unlike the money you may win from the Brownlow or from whatever, that may only temporarily yours, it'll eventually be gone. But Scoops merch does not go. Once you order, you get it. You get to keep it forever. Same with the Cameo, same thing applies. So you can go and get yours today. Now, and I'm also going to talk about trade talk as well. Let's start off with the world famous segment. And oh, trust me, it is the world famous segment. Go check the analytics. I know. Got over 5% of international viewers. So greatly appreciate you all. Also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Now, let's get down to business with that world famous segment. Scoop goes bang! The umpiring in the Swans Collingwood clash was absolutely bullshit. It was bullshit. The two examples I can think of were simply the two most obvious ones. The Jack Ginnivan 50 against him, supposedly moving off his mark, was bullshit, ridiculous. And the one to top it all off, late in the game, that could have cost the Pies, and some may argue did cost the Pies the final after losing by a point to the Swans. The Tom Papley non-push. Papley shoved Darcy Moore, I think it was, and Collingwood didn't get the free. And Papley then waltzed in and kicked the goal. Late in the game. We say an umpiring decision is going to cost a team a final one day. And if you're saying that this cost Collingwood the final, I don't blame you. That was a ridiculous call. Matt Stevic and Andrew Stevens are two of the three umpires in this clash. None of these three umpires in this clash should be umpiring in the grand final. They are. The AFL should be disgraced. Should be ashamed of themselves. Matthew Stevic has cost St Kilda twice this year. He's umpired crap this year. I don't give a shit how many games he's umpired. He's umpired crap this year. Andrew Stevens, we know how terrible he's been. Don't know how he got this far in the competition. It shows their depth is pretty poor then if he's still getting a game as an umpire. Bring back the injured Razor Ray. Bring him back. Andrew Stevens, Matthew Stevic, and the third umpire in this clash have got to go. Got to go. Disgraceful. And those two examples proved my point. And generally throughout the game, the umpiring was terrible all the way around. To them three umpires, I'd say lift your game, but especially Stevic and Stevens, I've mentioned you guys a couple of times and you haven't lifted your game. So I'm going to repeat myself, and this time I'm going to make it loud and clear for you to understand this, you two. Lift your game! Pathetic. And the third umpire, lift your game, pathetic. I think it'll end up being the umpiring, three umpires from the Geelong Brisbane clash will end up being the umpires, you would think, considering the three in the Swans game and Pies game was absolutely dog shit. Lift your game, pathetic. Now, I want to mention one thing too, the Patrick Cripps thing in this Scoops Goes Bang segment. As I said at the top, congratulations to Paddy Cripps. Was it well deserved? I don't know. Should he have been suspended for his incident? I think he should have. Did he generally deserve to win a Brownlow? Probably. Sure. He had a good season. But he shouldn't have been eligible. That bump on, was it Cal Archie, I think it was? It shouldn't have, from Brisbane, it should not have been let off. I know they appealed board, went to the tribunal and the appeals board. Ridiculous. Is he a dirty player? No. No, he's not a dirty player. Did he deserve to win a Brownlow? Maybe. But in these circumstances, he probably did not. I've seen players get suspended this year for far worse. Paddy Ryder got 2 weeks for a bump on Will Day. Unfortunately, Will Day got concussed, but Paddy Ryder didn't do jack shit. That's one of many examples. It's a decision I mentioned throughout the year multiple times, and so I should. That incident alone got Ryder 2 weeks. So why did Cripps not cop anything? Oh, that's right. He's an AFL Brownlow contender. And now we see why he was cleared. Because they would have said, oh, he's going to win the Brownlow. Or he's in the top 3 for the Brownlow. Or he's in the mix, at least. So that's why he got let off. No other reasons why. To the AFL people that made that decision, you should be utterly ashamed of yourself. The week or 2 weeks should have standard. That was absolutely bullshit. I'm sorry. AFL people that made that decision, lift your game. Hope you guys enjoyed that world famous English Scoops Bang Grand Final edition. Now, some other topics I'm going to go through. Other Brownlow, the trade talk, will preview and review the finals and the granny. You got the trade talk as well. I do have some announcements I want to make as well. So let's have a look at what they are. If you were in my Instagram live the other day, on Saturday night on Instagram, I did say there will be a new guest on the podcast in the coming weeks. And that is still very likely, so we'll have to wait to see. Keep your eyes out for that. And also, I'm planning on doing, how do I put it? Actually, I'm not going to describe what type of vlog this will be. But just expect a vlog to come out sometime this week. Maybe next week. It's, I don't want to give it away. So just keep an eye out for that. I've got a lot of things in the works. A lot of guests planned, hopefully pre-season. Some of the names that they go to, if they go to fruition, they're going to be big name guests and guests you'll be happy to hear from. And even if they're not bigger names that you think aren't big names, still check it out. I greatly appreciate it. Now, we've got that in the works, so keep an eye out for that. Now, let's go. Talk about... Oh, actually, no, we'll go through the finals. So we'll review and preview the finals. So we'll review the the preliminary finals, rather. Geelong 120, smashed at Lions 49. Geelong by 71 points. Look, it was disappointing for the Lions. I mean, kick only 7 goals. It's not good enough for a team that made the prelim. Yeah, it's not good. Geelong were too good from the start. And Brisbane were just non-existent. Really disappointing it was. So Cam Rayner got subbed off for injury. Max Holmes was subbed off for Geelong. Geelong were just too good. Max Holmes is in doubt for this week's final. At first, people going, standard hammy, 3 weeks. He was smashing the floor. He was upset, crying. And Chris Scott said he was optimistic in his press conference that he'll play according to his docs, and he trusts his docs, and fair enough. And then Max Holmes today at the open training session at GMHBA, was doing some run-throughs on the boundary line. Now, they got a main training session on Wednesday, Geelong do apparently, so I'll keep an eye out for Max Holmes, whether he'll play this week. If not, Brennan Parfitt or Sam Menengola, for me, are the likely replacements. I know Mark O'Connell's a sub. I don't see why they would bother with him. They want a similar player to Holmes. Well, Parfitt may be the one, but Menengola's got some... can play on the wing as well. So, personally, I think it'll be out of Parfitt and Menengola, but it wouldn't surprise if Geelong went Mark O'Connor. But yeah, just want to keep an eye out for to see if he plays, and if he doesn't, who replaces him. But yeah, in this game, they were too good. Cameron, Dangerfield were some of their best plays for Brisbane. No one was really good for the Brisbane Lions, really, honestly. Disappointing for the Lions to exit on this way. Also, they'll get a few players back in the trade period. We'll get to Josh Dunkley's officially known with the Lions this morning. We'll get to that later. Will Ashcroft will be the father-son pick, who will probably get bidded on by North at pick 1. They'll get him in, and probably got another father-son, Jasper Fletcher. So, 2 young guns and an experienced bull in Josh Dunkley. So, I think it'll be a better season with the Lions next season. Yeah, but look, just one for the Lions. Now we'll go back to that preliminary final, the SCG. Wow, what a great game it was. Sydney, even when they had a bigger lead, I just thought had that thought in my mind that no, the Pies will come back, led by Geordie De Goey, who had another great game for the Pies. Nick Dacos as well. Jack Crisp, with his crisp disposal, was pretty good as well in his 200th game. So he's ultra reliable, Jack Crisp. I think he's played 180-odd consecutive games. So credit to Crispy for never being injured or never being managed or have general soreness excuses. Crispy's been ultra reliable for the Pies' former line. He's done pretty well for them this season as well. But yeah, and Craig McRae, no matter what happens in the grand final, Craig McRae is without doubt the coach of the year. No, I'm not just saying that because he's been on my podcast twice. Twice. Did I say it twice? Twice. But yeah, no, nothing to do with that. He is this clear standard because for where Collingwood were last year in the bottom 4 to then now making the top 4 and making a prelim, in argument's sake said they could have been in the grand final and probably should have been. So, and then who's to say they couldn't beat Geelong? So, like, you know, they lost by a goal to them a couple of weeks ago in a controversial fashion. So, you know, look, regardless, Craig McRae is a coach of the year by far. No, it's not Chris Scott. No, it's not John Longmire. It is easily, for me, Craig McRae. For this game here, Jordan De Goey and Jack Crisp, the Pies' 2 best players for the Swans. Parfitt Hopefully got a late goal. Tom Hickey did all right. Well, yeah, I think it was more an all-round team effort for the Swans. Luke Parker was pretty good, kicked the first goal of the game. Had a run with roll at times on Geordie de GOEY. But as I said, I thought de GOEY was pretty good. So, yeah, it was a great win for the Swannies at the SCG in front of their home fans. 50-50 split in terms of fans. That's how the tickets were allocated. So, yeah, great win for the Swans in a 1-point victory over the Pies. They end the Pies season. They advance to the grand final against Geelong, which will be an interesting clash. Now, let's now move on to the grand final preview. I'm going to preview the grand final right now. It is Geelong and the Swan. Well, sorry. Just quickly, I should technically mention the scores. 95 was Sydney, 94 was the Pies. Swans by a point. Now, we'll preview the grand final Saturday, September 24th. 2:30 p.m. at the MCG, Geelong and the Swans in the grand final for season 2022. Leave your thoughts, guys, down below, guys and girls down below. Your winner, the margin, the Norm Smith medal winner. First goal kick if you want to do that. Now, I know people love to keep... Some people start sending me messages all the time. Oh, who do you think's going to win this? What's your first goal kick and stuff like that? Well, I'm now going to give you my predictions for that, so get ready. Geelong v Sydney at the MCG, 2:30 on Saturday, Victorian time. I'm going for the Swans. I know they're people can say, and probably fairly say, they're the two most informed sides of the competition so far. I tend to agree with that, although, as I said, I still think Collingwood have been pretty good as well. But it's Geelong and Sydney, they're probably the two most informed sides. You know what? I'm going for the Swans in the close game. Yeah, look, as I said, if Max Holmes plays, he plays, and if he doesn't, it'll be Meningolo or Parfitt for me, not O'Connor, but Geelong may pull that trick. I'd have Parfitt or Meningolo in the team and the other be the sub. But that's just me. Going for the Swans, I don't know if they'll go with Logan McDonald. I think they might, but Hayden McLean is right there, and Joel Amati, but I'd probably go Hayden McLean, honestly. Logan McDonald's been a bit scratchy lately. So I'd probably go for Hayden McLean, but it'd be some form of a risk to do so. So I'm going for the Swans by 2 points. I'm going for the Swans by 2 points. The Norm Smith medal winner, I'm going to be... Tossing up between a few Swans. Looking at Heaney. Also... kind of looking at, yeah, so Heaney and Papley, as I said, but I'm also looking at Chad Warner, Luke Parker, maybe Rowbottom. I'll just go the safe option. I'll go Luke Parker. Yeah, for the Norm Smith medal for me. First goal kicker will go Isaac Heaney for me. Now, so my predictions, as I said, Swans by 2 points. Luke Parker, Norm Smith, Isaac Heaney, first goal kicker. Now, we'll go through the Brownlow medal. And it's an interesting count. Obviously, Paddy Cripps won on 29 votes. Got the 3 vote against the Pies in the last game. So the top 10 leaderboard was, in first place, Paddy Cripps, 29 votes. Second place was Lockie Neal on 28 votes. Touk Miller in third place on 27 votes. Equal fourth was Andy Brayshaw on 25, as was Clayton Oliver on 25, followed by Christian Petrarca on 24 votes. In seventh place, 21 votes, Callum Mills, a little surprise maybe. A good year though. Dion Prestia was a big surprise in the top 10, in 8th place on 19. Equal 8th, sorry, with Jeremy Cameron also on 19. That's honestly not a surprise to me, Jeremy Cameron pulling that away. Maybe a surprise to some. Zach Merritt finished 10th. In the Brownlow medal on 17 votes again. And Carl Amon also got 15. Now, I'm going to go through each club's highest Brownlow vote getter. And I'm also going to go through the amount of votes per team. So, actually, the Brownlow medal votes by team. The most votes for the clubs was 94 votes for the Melbourne Football Club. 92 votes for the Geelong Football Club. 89 votes for Carlton. 83 votes for Fremantle and the Swans. 75 votes for Gold Coast, Richmond and the Western Bulldogs. 74 votes for Brisbane and Port Adelaide. 72 votes for my Saints. 63 votes for the Pies, which comes to the surprise to some. 51 votes for the Crows. 50 for the Giants. 47 for Essendon. 45 for the Hawks. 31 for North Melbourne. And the lowest ever amount of votes for a club ever in a Brownlow history count is West Coast with 15 votes only, which is pretty disappointing. Shows how poor their season was. Now, each club's highest Brownlow vote getter. The Crows on 14 votes was the former skipper Tex Walker. Tex is... I'm not surprised by this. I don't know the exact number off the top of my head, but I had Tex around the same amount of votes as well, so he well deserved from the big Tex. And had he not missed, I said he should have played. It would have been all Australian. He was in the squad. I reckon he could have even won the Coleman. So if he missed those 4 or 5 games, he missed at the start of the year through suspension. So Tex did awesome. Lockie Neal, 28 votes. That was self-explanatory. Paddy Cripps, the Brownlow medal winner, 29. Tied for the Pies on 11 votes. Jack Crisp, with his crisp vote getting, and Nick Dacos, both on 11 votes. For the Bombers, Zach Merritt mentioned on 17. Andy Brayshaw, 25, no surprise. Jeremy Cameron, we just mentioned already. For Geelong with 19. Took Miller, 27 for the Suns. Josh Kelly got 13 votes for the Giants, the most for the Giants. Again, I had Josh Kelly around the same as well. And I think I had Josh Kelly just in my top 10, which you never knew about, so there you go. The Hawks, Jai Newcomb had 11 votes for the Hawks. Clayton Oliver for Melbourne, 25. Luke Davis-Uniacke, 8 for the Roos. Carl Amon, the most for the Power. He beat Ollie Wines. He beat Connor Rosie. Pel Pepper. Carl Amon had 15. And well-deserved Carl Amon. He'd be a great get for the Hawks. Very underrated is Carl Amon. I've been saying the whole way through. People say he's no good. Well, he's just got 15 votes. Dion Prestia, 19 for the Tigers. Made the top 10. It was 8th, as I said. So pretty well for them, did Dion Prestia. Probably a bit of a surprise for me. I knew he had a good year, but I was a bit surprised he polled that many votes. The man of steel for the Saints, Jack Steele, despite missing 5 or 6 games, Steele, he had 13 votes. Great to see. And fun fact too about the Saints, did you know that Jack Steele and Jack Higgins were equal 2nd or 3rd after the 6th round? So, it's a fun fact. Here you go. And then he was dropped. Interesting rats, eh? The Swans, Callum Mills, 21. As I said, he's in the top 10. He was 7th. So well deserved for Callum Mills. Now, the Eagles, they polled 15 votes for the team. And 6 of the 15 votes were the Eagle, or the winner for the Eagles, is the retiring superstar, Josh Kennedy, with 6 votes. JK. I don't know, mate. And Josh Dunkley for the Bulldogs had the most from 14 votes. That is the last time you hear the affiliation with the Bulldogs for Josh Dunkley, as he nominated the Lions. Did I tell you that already? I'll tell you that again. So yeah, he had polled 14 for the Bulldogs the last time. Yeah, what's your thoughts, guys, on the Brownlow votes for individuals? Did you think they were good, they were bad? What did you think about it? I didn't mind it personally. Yeah, it was a very interesting one. Now, one thing I do want to mention too, thanks to Swamp on Twitter for this, players in 2022 getting 3 Brownlow votes, but no coaches' votes. Round 4, Dion Prestia. Round 7, Ollie Wines. Round 11, Sam Palpepper. Round 14, Carl Amon. Round 15, Carl Amon. Round 17, Chengwith Giath. Round 19, Carl Amon again. Round 19, Luke Parker. Round 21, Jared Witts. Round 21, Clayton Oliver. And round 23, Dan Hanbury. What are the Hannahs? Interesting. There's the Power. Carl Amon 3 times polled 3 Brownlow votes, yet did not receive coaches' votes at all from Ken, or the oppositions in those rounds, respectively 14, 15, and 19. Was it maybe Carl and Ken weren't favourites of each other? Well, Carl wasn't a favourite of Ken's. Interesting. That's the one thing I took out from the Brownlow the most, probably. Carl Amon getting 15 and not getting votes. Brad Crouch polled 9. I was happy with Crouchy getting 9. I think it was 9. Was it 9 or 10? I can't remember. But, well deserved. Crouchy. But yeah, that was a bit surprising. And how Dan Hanbury did not get a vote. How did he not get coaches' votes, I will not believe. Max King hit 5 in that last game against the Swans. Did not poll a vote. And he kicked him on Rampy, who's a bloody good defender. So, yeah. Steely got a vote that game. Hanbury got 3, and Ben Long, who's going to the Gold Coast, got 2. Surprised King to get in ahead of Long, but here we are. Brownlow did pull up some funny things, and yeah, that was one of them as well. Leave your thoughts, as I said, of the Brownlow down below. So now we'll move on to the trade talk, and trades are starting to heat up in terms of requests. We've had today Josh Dunkley is officially known at the Brisbane Lions over the Power, leaving the Bulldogs. A rumoured 6-year deal for Josh Dunkley at $700 to $750K. Doesn't surprise me. The longer this dragged out, the feeling was he would choose Brisbane. Ben Long shows in the Gold Coast over the Roos, now going to soon be a former Saint, because simply he was offered 3 years at $600 by North, as I exclusively revealed month or so ago. So North were interested. It looked like that way. Then Gold Coast came in and jumped the offer of the Roos 3 at $600 for 4 at $600, which is actually ridiculous if you ask me. So he shows in the Gold Coast now, and I'm not surprised. So thanks, Gold Coast. Hopefully give us a second rounder if you want to offer that amount of money and that amount of years to a fringe player. Yes, Dunkley, Long. And I can exclusively reveal I expect the official announcement of Dan McStay to pick the Collingwood Football Club within the next few days or so. Let's keep an eye out for that. Bobby Hill yesterday, as I exclusively revealed, and Craig exclusively revealed last year on my podcast, the first time he came on, they were interested in Bobby Hill and they would inquire again if that was the case. And as we said, the second time around on the show. So, and that was officially happened on Sunday. So you're starting to see the things all fall aligned. Tanner Bruins nominated Geelong. Ollie Henry from the Pies set to nominate Geelong. So the moves are starting to happen. Brad Hill, I could expect him to pick North Melbourne. But yeah, the Brodie Grundy one, what happens there? We'll go through them all right now. So Brodie Grundy, I've had a stance where I've, for a while, said he's not going to go. But if they're going to bring all these guys in, Billy Frampton was also nominated the Pies. They're going to bring in, Hill, Bobby Hill, McStay, Frampton, that's 3, and the link to Tom Mitchell as well. There may be another one that escapes my memory at the moment. So, someone might have to go, and if Geordie stays, well then what's Brodie Grundy going to do? So Melbourne's been the club linked, and unfortunately I think that may happen, but I still don't know why and how they're going to fit him in Gawn in the team in terms of the ruck split, what they're going to do there. They must have a plan in place to do something for that. So it's more now likely that Brodie Grundy, despite being in contract for another 5 years, set to join the Melbourne Football Club potentially. Carl Amon's nominated the Hawks. Rankin obviously nominated the Crows. Geordie de Goey, I expect him to... Well, if you've seen Craig McRae's wording of how he said he wants him to stay, he ran straight to his manager after the game, Ryan Haig, and said, Ryan, I want him to stay. I really want him to stay. And I believe every word of Craig McRae. He does not lie, does Craig McRae. I believe him every time he speaks. Unlike some coaches who like to lie and dance around the subject, he said he does not know the decision of Geordie yet and hopes and wants him to stay. Now, if you believe Craig like I do, if you hear the words, I want him to stay and I hope he stays, clearly shows that Geordie's not given any indication to Collingwood or Craig that he is going to stay. Now, I'm not saying he's not going to stay, but because I believe what Craig said and how he worded it was essentially saying, I want him to stay, I hope he stays, but I don't know. That leaves St Kilda still as the possibility. St Kilda, if you want to make a name for yourself, Geordie played well in the final series every game, the Geelong game, the Freo game, and the Swans game. If your offer is hypothetically the same as Collingwood's, you're going to bump that up. Bump it up. Bump it up. And I mean it. Bump the offer up considerably. Not a little, 20,000 more. No. Let's hypothetically say Collingwood's offer is 4 years at 800. Well, St Kilda's got to up theirs to 5 years at $1 million. Simple as that. Do it, and he may come to the Saints. Make a stand for yourself. You don't realise his playing ability, how big of a difference that will be for the Saints. That'll free up Steely and Crouch in the middle. It'll add a different type of player in the midfield. It frees the hell out of Max King and Timmy Membry up forward. and the resting ruck, whether it's Marshall or Tommy Campbell or someone else, or Jack Hayes, it frees them up to Geordie to get a better defender. Frees up Timmy Membry a lot. If you don't see that being the case, why the hell are you in the job? You should have gone for Griffin Logue. You stuffed that up. You need key defenders, but nah, let's just bypass a 24-year-old gun for fucking what we got now. Do something. That was our weakness this year. The key defenders. Battle, Wilkie, Highmore are not key defenders. They're third tall intercept defenders. Howard is the only one. They delisted Dara Joyce. So clearly you got someone else in mind, and you stuffed up getting Griffin Logue. You got mentioned to Cole Hartigan. And apparently that got died down lately, the last few weeks. You got to do something. Just do something. Do something decent for once. Make a stand. Arthur, up. Open the shop. Open up the checkbook. Open it up. Throw all the eggs into the basket of grabbing Jordan De Goey to the Saints. If you do that, he will be the game changer we have not probably had since Nick Riewoldt. Passionate play, people will say this is. If they don't get him, I'll be disappointed. But, because they've missed out on Griffin Logue, who's now nominated North 13 in a second, they need to put all their eggs now in the Geordie De Goey basket. St Kilda. If you're gonna get out of the mediocrity, get Jordan De Goey. Try your best. Don't offer the same as Collingwood, because then he'll just stay. Up the freaking offer. Up it by an extra year and an extra 200k to what Collingwood's is. Do it. Do it for your fans. And stop living in mediocrity. Stop being mediocre. If you want to be a fair dinkum club, you've got to get with the times. Get Jordan De Goey. And hopefully from Pies, he is gone. And going to the Saints. Come on. Do something. If you miss out on him, I don't know what the hell you're going to do. You missed out on Carl Amon too. You employed his mum, Carl Amon's mum, Katrina, to the club. Start of the year. I thought, here we go. The seeds are being planted. And I don't know what offer you offered Carl Amon, but apparently the Hawthorn one was pretty good and he picked that. Let's just say this. And Carl Amon did say in the trade radio launch that it was between two clubs he was heavily considering. And no doubt that was St Kilda. We knew that Carlton and Melbourne were interested, but they wouldn't have offered the big money because they can't afford to. So it was clearly St Kilda. So you employed this guy's mum to the club at the start of the year. And that still could not convince him to choose St Kilda. Or did you lowball him as well? Did you not offer him as big of a deal as Hawthorn, or at least the same? That's why you missed out on Carl Amon. You had his mum employed to the club, for God's sake, and you still missed out on him. You didn't attempt to go for Griffin Logue. North Melbourne, of all clubs, have gotten him. You could have offered him 5 years at 600, 700. Same with Geordie De Goey at 5 years at $1 million. This would change the club completely and would free up Membry, free up Howard, free up everybody in those positions that De Goey and Logue would play in, and Amon on the wing. Free up D-Mac, Mason Wood, whoever. But no, they could have been the big three, Logue, Amon, and De Goey. But you missed out on two. Don't miss out on the third. And the biggest one of the three. Do something and freaking open the checkbook and don't dance around it. Just go right to the point. 5 years, $1 million, JDG. Here you go. And if he doesn't take it well, then at least you tried. But try and do it. Right. Now. Now I've got a headache now. Tim Taranto, Jacob Hopper. Hope you guys enjoyed that rant. Taranto picked Richmond. We know about the unlimited salary cap. Hopper and Taranto both offered 7 years at 700-ish for both. Love to know the unlimited salary cap there. They'll go to Richmond or Taranto. Will Hopper? I sort of know. Gino's to play hardball there. We'll wait and see. Dyson Heppel, I think the longer this is dragging out, I think he's wanting to see who the coach is, but the longer that takes, the trade period may have started by then. So I think Dice is in this position where he's wanting to see who the coach is, but it's Uze I heard. I've got a feeling if it's Heard, he'll go. I really do. If it's Uze, I think he may stay. So the coach could play out if Heppel stays. I don't think he'd be captain at all next year regardless, but we'll wait and see. Brad Hill, I think he'll leave, even though he's got a chance to go to the Saints, probably to North Melbourne, and fair enough. Luke Jackson's nominated during the week, late last week. He wants to go to WA. Look, let's be real. He wants to go to Freo. He's just saying it in case Fremantle can't get it done. Deep down, we know that's where he wants to go. Rory Lobb wants to go to the Bulldogs. Fremantle denied it. There's no smarter operator in terms of their stance in players moving than Peter Bell and the Dockers. They did it to Lobb last year. They've done it to players in the past. They made St Kilda cough up a lot more than what they wanted to get Brad Hill over. And look where we are now 4 years later. 3 years later. Fremantle made the stance. They got first-round picks after first-round picks. Blake Acres. For us, essentially just getting Hill in like a third or fourth rounder. They play hard. They play a hard bargain, the Dockers. And I like St Kilda should operate with people like this. But they don't. They're soft. They cave in. Make a stand. But no. Freo are the way to go in terms of trade stance. And Rory Lobb, I believe Fremantle will stick to their word. And like they've said so far, Rory, you're not going. Logue's gone, so we didn't want you going either as well. Logue was out of contract, which was different. I'm sure they'd rather keep Griffin Logue, but he was out of contract, so it was a big difference. Lobb wants to go to the Bulldogs, but again, if I believe Peter Bell and his recent history of player stance, unless they get someone in that similar position who's worthy of being in that starting 22 spot, I think they'll stick to their words and keep Rory Lobb at the club. Josh Dunkley, said earlier today, is officially nominated the Brisbane Lions. He and Will Ashcroft will come in, and potential other father-son, Jasper Fletcher. So it's going to be an interesting one. I think the Lions are going to be good again next season. Dunkley and Ashcroft in that midfield forward. Dunkley can play. Really much play the Cam Rayner role. In the structure, could replace McStay. It'd be great. Get 6-year deal rumoured for Josh Dunkley at 700. So great for Josh and great for the Lions. Dan McStay, speaking of the Lions, he's McGowan. He's going to the Pies I mentioned earlier. Bobby Hill's going to the Pies. Ben Long's going to the Gold Coast. Zach Jones, still out of contract at the Saints. Expect him to get another year when it's all said and done. Unless they do get Jordan De Goey, then we'll wait and see. Lloyd Meek, got offers from GWS. This is St Kilda, need a backup ruckman. You missed out on Logue. You missed out on Amon. Lloyd Meek's good young ruck. Lloyd Meek could be the ruckman, and Marshall can play forward. Wouldn't you rather? Just imagine this for the Alice Saints fans. Higgins, and Butler, and Marshall, and King, and Membry, and De Goey. Just imagine that. How good that would be. Lloyd Meek, got offers from other clubs. He's got a year to go. Fremantle have said with him, he's contracted, but they haven't really played a stance on this one. So I think that the right offers there, they've got Sean Darcy and Luke Jackson will come in. So that's their number 1 and 2 ruck duo. And Lloyd Meek will get pushed to number 3. And he's currently number 2. So I like Lloyd Meek. I like to see him at the Saints, but GWS has shown some interest there. Ollie Henry, mentioned a bit earlier, he's more likely to choose in the Geelong Football Club along with Tanner Bruin. Matt Crouch, still nothing really said. Wants to stay in Adelaide, but doesn't want to play Sample. And the Crows aren't going to offer him AFL football regularly, at least. So, Essendon, I'll throw up again. I still think they'll be in the mix. Jack Gunston, expected decision soon. Just imagine, I just mentioned about Brisbane getting Dunkley, Ashcroft as the main two. Just imagine throwing Gunston in that mix. Imagine that 4 line of Dunkley and Gunston and Danaher and Hipwood and Charlie Cameron and Cam Rayner. Boy, oh boy, that's dangerous. Then you got a midfielder, Neil, Will Ashcroft, Hugh McCluggage, Jared Berry, Jared Lyons. Gee whiz. The Lions could be very dangerous next season if they add Gunston and they're already adding Dunkley. Blake Yakers is going to the Carlton Footy Club apparently, like Griffin Lowe, going to the Roos. Brennan Cox. I believe he's got a year to go on his contract, and I wouldn't expect Freo to let him go, but people keep saying there's a chance to go to Adelaide. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Junior Rioli picked Power. Port they got miss out on Dunkley, but they get Junior Rioli. Braden Fiorini, that's right. He's the other guy linked to the Pies. Could be a salary cap dump like the Will Brody one was to Dockers from Gold Coast. Fiorini could be that. The Pies, a very handy player is Braden Fiorini. Will Gould's apparently set to get a new 1-year extension at Swans. Very interesting. Toby Bedford was apparently going to make his decision after the VFL Grand Final, which was yesterday, which Casey won against Southport in the VFL Granny in wet conditions at Icon Park. GWS has been interested for a while, so I wouldn't be surprised if GWS he goes to. And Liam Jones picked Bulldogs during the week, going back to his old club, his original club. Leave your thoughts down below. Any trade names I haven't mentioned, sound them off in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to this video. We want to aim for 20 likes for this video. Subscribe to the channel. How many times I need to say this? You like my content, you've got to subscribe to the channel. As simple as that. Now, that was Scoops' trade talk. Now, just a reminder, I will be having trade talk videos throughout the weeks in the trade period in upcoming weeks. I may do a podcast format, maybe. Or might it just be a trade video where I might do it at a similar time as every night as Monday at 7 p.m. I'll just do it as a weekly thing at 7 p.m. each night. We don't know. We'll wait and see. But something I'm looking to do. So the content will still be there. So don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. And again, as I said earlier, vlog. Got some special vlogs I want to make, which will be released in the next week or so. So I hope you guys can check out that. Greatly appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel on here, on Facebook at AFL Information, Trade Rooms and Results, Instagram, AFL Info Live, right here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. On Spotify and Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review. We'd greatly appreciate it. And the merch, we'll start with my final thoughts are simply this. Merch and Cameo, cameo.com/CooperG. You want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, head to cameo.com/CooperG. Merch, 8 t-shirts to pick from, hats, a hat, stickers, or sticker, and stubby holders. So, stubby holder. So you can go and get yours. So I greatly appreciate that. Until next time, everyone, have a great one. The most important thing of all to remember is go the Saints and, of course, acknowledge me, the one and St Kilda. Get Jordan de GOEY! Now.